Okay.
eCom Power Hour, SEO, FBA, PPC, making sense of all the letters, bringing clarity to e-commerce and how it impacts your bottom line. With your hosts, Jeff Bacon and Jason Ness.
That'd be that guy and me.
Yeah,
hey,
baby.
we're excited. We have some special guests here today. It's going to be a complete, total change up and everything. We have actually gone to the great extreme of bringing some estrogen in the room today. I mean, this has been like the testosterone-filled environment.
It has. In fact, it was a great idea, Jason, when you suggested that maybe, we look for some female energy to bring in. Because you know what? I may be wrong. I think females actually can do better in e-commerce than males. I may be wrong on that. I just think they're wired more like shoppers and buyers, and I just think they have a different mentality when it comes to retail and selling, and so I'm really excited to have them in here because I mean we've had some tremendously successful people join us so far, and people that are generating hundred thousands of dollars a month in sales, but really nothing like these two beautiful young women we have here with us today.
Well, like I say, I'm really excited. For me, it was the epiphany came when I started thinking about, we have a lot of great guys in here, and you're right. I think this is definitely a market and a business opportunity for young women who have been guided down different paths that may not be the best, most supportive path for them. And this is, you guys will tell the story, but the reality of it is, we're in a world today, there is no ceiling, there's no glass ceiling. I know that in certain corporate arenas and certain like that, but when it comes to e-com, my dad, I love this, my dad had this cartoon on his desk for years, and it was a little dog talking to a cat, surfing a dating site, and he turns to the cat and he says, the best part, the dating site was for cats. And he turns to the cat and says, the best part about the internet, no one knows you're a dog. And the reality of it is, on the internet, we're all equal. We can compete head-to-head, man, woman, mono, I don't know what the other one would be, womamo.
Right.
And we can compete with corporations like that, but there's no reason that women can't dominate in this field. I mean, absolutely dominate. So we brought I was going to say the dominatrix themselves. Well, that's a different story altogether. We brought two fine women in here who are just doing incredibly well. We'd love to hear about you. So introduce yourselves, please. We'll start with you, Amber. Tell us a little about yourself and your background.
So my name is Amber Lee. I am 32 years old and I'm from Kentucky. I've been online in the industry for about 8 years. First 4 years I didn't make a dime, but I learned a whole heck of a lot. So
we like to call that buying data.
Right, I did. The problem was I didn't have any money, so I wasn't buying data. I was just stacking up knowledge. So
I'm curious. You talked about 4 years where you really didn't earn any money. What were you doing during those 4 years?
I was doing network marketing, a lot of network marketing, but I had started doing the parties and stuff. I was a single mom, a true single mom. So where he wasn't involved at all. So I literally had the whole responsibility 24 hours a day. So I was doing the home parties, but I just didn't have the time to really do the home parties like you need to with that type of commitment. So I went online looking for other ways to be able to build my network marketing company. But there was two things that you either need money or you need time. And I didn't have a lot of either. And I did have some sales background. I did door-to-door sales. That was brutal. And so I was learning, right? It was. So I was kind of learning online, going through, and I struggled for about 4 years because I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have anybody guiding me. So I was very self-taught. About 4 years into my career, I had a woman that kind of swooped in, saw my talent and started to mentor me, and I started to make money in the affiliate marketing ring. So started doing that online, and I decided, actually just about 3 months ago, I had an opportunity to come to Arizona to learn e-commerce. And I was kind of had been full-time for 4 years. I love, don't get me wrong, I love having my own business and working from home, but sometimes you get into that, I call it the black hole, the working from home black hole.
Silo.
It is. It's like where you're working with your computer's your best friend. You have all these friends, but all of them are on Facebook. They're not, and so you kind of feels like you're kind of falling back into the mediocrity. And so I wanted something different. And I got the opportunity to come out to Arizona to study with a group of people with e-commerce. So I got a call and was asked to be out here in a week. So I sold everything I had and jumped on a plane and came out here. And I have a 13-year-old son that I actually left back in Kentucky just until I got here and got established. Yeah. So.
And I think to Amber's credit, she doesn't mention the fact that I think for the position that you got hired for, there were hundreds of people that applied.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean, the fact that, in fact, both of these women here beat the odds significantly in order to be able to get into the position and get the opportunity they wanted. So she's being very modest when she talks about this. The fact that she was able to beat out literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other applicants to be able to come down here and learn e-commerce. And then you talk about the passion.
Well, and the commitment. This is the thing, and this is the thing I found across the board, is that commitment is everything. If you're not committed to doing it, and there's no one who's more committed than like literally dropping everything in a week, selling what they can, even having to leave their son behind, but knowing that you're bringing him to a much brighter future. And I'm just talking about the gorgeous weather here in Arizona at the same time. We're talking about like you're bringing him to a much brighter future. So I think that's awesome. That's a great level of commitment. A great way to do it. Make it happen.
And I know we'll be hearing from Marissa as well. But I'm kind of curious, Amber. Obviously, you must really believe that e-commerce is worth this major sacrifice and commitment and pivot you've made in your life.
Yeah, I have, like I said, I've been online for 8 years. I've been in my entrepreneurial path for that long, and I have dibbled and dabbled in almost everything. Everything you can think of, I have tried it. E-commerce is by far the simplest business model that I have found. And I always tell people that is my talent. I find simple business models that I can apply online, and that's how I have been successful. And e-commerce is by far the most simplest.
And let me ask you something, because you've been doing this now for a while. A lot of people say to me, it's a bunch of sizzle. There's a few people that make a lot of money, and then everybody else wastes all their money. For most people, it's just a waste of time and waste of their money. Do you believe that's true or not?
I think few people put the effort that it takes to be successful.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So
before we get into that, though, we're kind of leaving another key player out.
Yeah.
Kind of get a little action here. So Marissa, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little about your history. You actually have a pretty amazing history. I am actually. I was making an example earlier, not of you, but of the path that you had chosen before eCom, and I think it would be great to hear your story.
Yeah, thank you guys. Oh, this sounds weird in the headphones, but yeah, I appreciate that introduction. My name is Marissa Romero, and originally from Southern California. I'm 28 years old. Let's see, I'm the oldest of 3 sisters. My parents still live in Southern California.
But you're an ASU grad, are you not?
Well, that's where I completed my master's. But yeah, that's right. Forks up. But yeah, I do come from a traditional, corporate academic background. Oops. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. And I went to college. I graduated from Sacramento State University with a degree in civil engineering. And that was during the recession we had towards the end of the recession, like 2010, 2011. I was very fortunate to get a job with the Department of Transportation and travel around the country and do different assignments. And I was placed in Arizona about 5 years ago. Then I continued my career here, went back and got my master's in construction engineering, which is a branch of civil. Let's see, so long story short, I guess my career was fulfilling, and it was moving really fast, and I was moving up in the corporate / government ladder. But last year, which was 2016, I started to notice a really big void in in my life. You know, I had all this success like really fast, and you know, like I had gone to Europe with my family, and it was a, you know, pedal to the metal, like 18-day vacation. And then we had got done with my vacation, and I was like, you know what, I'm pissed. Like, I don't want to go back to work. I'm like, there's got to be more to life than this. Like, I don't want to.
So there was a transition, and that epiphany that you had right at that moment while you're traveling around Europe is something we want to talk about in the next break. We got to take a break here, pay the bills. We want you back here though at eCom Power Hour. It is a super exciting show. You're going to hear from two amazing ladies, and not only hear their story, but also how they make it in eCom today and what they do that's a little different, and the different twist on the way they think. I think you're really going to be ready, really ready for that.
Let's make some money.
Amber.
All right. Okay, that's a good start.
I'm on a radio show. I'm gonna play it.
Good job. Yeah, don't. If anything happens, don't you worry about whether we can hear you or not. He hears everything. If
Okay.
something, he'll change it. He'll come in. He'll monkey. He'll turn. He'll twist. He'll do all that stuff for you. So
Gotcha.
just keep talking
Okay.
and have a good time.
But I can't come back there and video them. Will I be? I don't want to be on Facebook. Is that correct?
You are on Facebook. It's
Oh,
okay.
right.
So too late for that.
You're already
You
on
can
it.
come. You can move around. You can walk around. Do anything you want.
Absolutely.
Because I'm only getting the back of Amber's head on her phone
Yeah,
and
no.
her story, and
Yeah,
this is Amber's story. The back of her head.
You can wander around. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah.
Good job, lady.
I was picking my nose. You didn't tell me I was on Facebook. No, just kidding.
Hey, here we are at Monday Radio 1510. There's Wes in the back. We've got Marissa over there talking on her phone. Amber, Yolanda, and Tamara in the back. And there's Jeff. We're really excited.
We are. Okay. So how you ladies feeling?
Good.
You
Doing
good?
really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So before we go into the second break, question real quick. You said you're going to talk about your new group.
Yes, I'll
Do you have
plug that
anything
in.
you want to talk about?
Would it be weird that I talk about like I want to be a coach?
An ecom coach?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Do you have anything to point to, or just reach out
Plug
to
to
you on
your Facebook.
If you don't have
You can just plug them into your Facebook.
Okay.
Just tell
Yes.
them to send you a friend request before they send you a message, so you get the message.
Okay.
Just plug them in that way.
just say, hey, make sure to friend me on Facebook.
Mhm.
And then how do we get you on Facebook? Do you have an easy one to get to, or is it like crazy 16, 40, 43 characters long?
It's just my name.
Marissa Romero or Marissa Romero or
Like, do you know what your Facebook is? Like facebook.com/ like mine's facebook.com/ Amber Michelle Lee 11.
yeah, so that's like an easy one to
It was all they had available.
remember. I know old guys like us got our name.
Right? I didn't get that wasn't
I
early.
mean, it's just my name.
I'm still logging with my ASU email.
There you go.
That's
That's
great.
funny.
That's what I had to have a college email.
I don't know how you find the URL on there. Yeah, Amber Lee is a porn star, so like she has my name. I like can't find my name for anything.
Well, I don't know.
I can get
I either
.com.
tag you or I tag the porn star in this show. because the
Yeah,
list
it's-
went below the line.
yeah.
I couldn't see who it was. I was like, well, I'll try that. So
Okay, so but it is, I'm always like, because I was like, Mom, I can never get my name. She's like, oh, honey, that's porn star, so you're not gonna get it. Okay.
you're like, well, I
Never-
think it's like
never-
what you name me after a porn star.
Right. And you knew.
You do, yeah. Just say, reach out, Marissa
Romero.
Romero, and he'll find
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
And if not, we'll put you on our page or something.
Yeah, I'll give them my Instagram too. I'm pretty active.
Whichever's the easiest.
Okay.
to
Yeah,
reach
whichever
out.
one is the best to reach you at.
Don't confuse them with too many though. That's what I was going to get to. Is if you're doing your group, send them right to your group. If you don't have a group established,
I don't have it
send
set.
them
I'm gonna plug them into. I'm gonna talk about the group and plug them into
Me
me personally.
Okay. There you
Same
go.
thing for you. Pick one: Instagram, Snap, whatever you want to do. That way you can drive one.
You know what? I think I'm gonna do Snap because I need to drive up my Snap.
Whatever you like. If you put too many of them out there, it'll confuse
It
them.
will.
And they'll do
I'm just
nothing.
gonna do 2.
Okay.
Please.
We're ready
We
when
good?
you are, Sir
Yeah.
Wes.
Let us do it.
Okay, rock and roll. Remember, Facebook has no idea what music is.
Now back to
That's what's so funny.
eCom Power Hour. Here are your hosts, Jeff Fagan and Jason Nast.
Well, we are back, and we are super excited to have Marissa and Amber in the room and really helping us understand from a woman's perspective about e-commerce. And when we left off, Marissa was telling us a little about her story, her background in formal education and working in government, corporate America, and her epiphany, which transferred and transmortified her life.
Transmortified?
Transmortified.
Mortified, not mortified, mortified, the G.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta be a Harry Potter fan for that. And change your life completely. So tell us a little about that. What brought you to eCom then?
Okay, so so shortly after I had this epiphany that there was this void in my life and something needed to change. Like I couldn't stand getting up at 5 a.m. You know, the frustration was definitely building up. One day I did get how it all started was back in October of 2016. I got presented with a network marketing opportunity, and I was like, oh, whoa, what is this? And that's how, you know, I started to get into the entrepreneur, like personal development, you know, cash flow quadrant, you know, the big books that, you know, we all read when we first discover this whole new world. And I was like, oh my gosh, like being an entrepreneur is possible for me. So then, you know, I dabbled into the world of affiliate marketing and, you know, marketing other people's digital products. But then, you know, I came across Techademics, and the number one thing that attracted to me to tech was that it was a school for online entrepreneurs, and it was a school. And you know what I'm used to, like I'm used to curriculum and going to school. So I was like, well, let me just figure out what this is all about. And I'm like, eCom, like they're teaching eCom. I'm like, what's eCom? So in January and February, I didn't really know what e-commerce was, or definitely didn't know what Shopify was, but I had registered for one of their in-person trainings, and you know, I had built and that's how I got the e-commerce bug, and I was like, this is definitely where I want to be.
That's
So
awesome. That's
Well,
great.
but it's amazing that you were able to start a store within 48 hours after you opened up the store. You actually had a sale.
mhm.
So is that unusual, or do you think that if people are doing things the right way, that a lot of people could actually open up a store within a few days and start making sales?
No, I strongly believe you can start making sales as soon as you start driving traffic, as soon as you know, set up that first campaign on Facebook, and it truly is about just doing it instead of just, you know, being scared and just like, oh, my store needs to be beautiful before, you know, I start to advertise, and before descriptions and, you know, whatever else is perfect. Like, you just got to try. And that's what I did. I was like, yeah, I know this niche really well. It was to the CrossFit niche actually, and like that's what I do. That's my thing. So I set up the targeting. They showed me how to target. I set it up, and the next day I was like, yeah, cha-ching.
That's awesome.
So
That's great. You know, it's funny because you said you kind of stumbled into it. You made a sale really quick, and it really got you generated, excited about it. What I find is that if you can get in that energy right away and surround yourself with energy like that, it really does catch up. You also said you were really familiar with the niche, which I like that. But do you think you have to know the niche in order to be successful in this business?
no, absolutely not. It helps. If I dive into a niche that I'm unfamiliar with, it's a matter of you know, researching Google for about a half hour, and if you know someone who is interested or is passionate about that niche, like archery, you just shoot them a text like, hey, like what? Tell me something about archery. You know, like
It's like they're selling you on it, so they're giving you all the information about what
right.
They
They give you the right, you know, terms to use, so you don't look like a dummy. And you know, when you're putting the ad copy together, and they'll give you ideas that you didn't know about. But usually, I mean, it's just a couple Google searches away of like how to get the right targeting for the niche. So
that's perfect. That's perfect. So and I know in eCom we are very secretive of what we actually do. We don't tell people our store. We don't tell people our actual products, because then there's just so many people out there that want to jump on your bandwagon. That's not a good thing. But without divulging too many intimate secrets, tell us a little bit about what you do, Amber, in terms of your niche. We know she's in a CrossFit niche and other niches as well, but tell us a little bit like how you discover what you're good at.
I'm pretty, my store is a general store, but what I normally go for is I sell shoes. So I just do shoes all across the board, and I'll go into different niches, depending, and it just depends. I mean, I've dibbled and dabbled in, I've done some sports stuff. I've done some stuff for moms. I've done different stuff. So it's kind of just how you spin it. But I normally, the thing that I do is I stick with shoes. That's my store.
Now, I have this may sound like a sexist question, so please don't take any offense to it, but I want to know, do you think that coming from a female perspective, you have a different view of what buys and sells? And do you think that helps you and gives you an unfair advantage against us poor guys?
I think that
I do.
I think so.
I think buying is an emotional process, and I think because women are emotional and we're in touch with our emotions more than men are, that I think that makes it I wouldn't say easier, but I think as far as like writing the ad copy and being able to get into people's emotional, I think that, yeah, we have the upper hand on that.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Now, can I ask you, in the CrossFit world, do you sell to men, to women, or both, generally?
Women,
Women.
but I do have a lot of designs in my head that's gonna go to both.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you, in your shoes, do you target, generally speaking, men or women? Who do you like to target in your business?
Both of their money spends.
Okay. But okay, and the reason I'm asking is kind of a selfish question, is that, I come from the old school guard. I mean, we did direct TV, as seen on TV, we did infomercials, I did direct mail. I mean, I did all kinds of crazy marketing throughout my lifetime. We all know growing up in the marketing industry that you target women.
Mm-hmm.
You target, our ideal target women have always been pretty much the same 35 to 45-year-old females, generally speaking, and sometimes 55 to 65-year-old females. That's just the niche.
Right.
They're the decision makers. Even in a married household, the woman is going to make the decision whether or not that money gets spent. So I think that it's like you want to sell to women, but I also know in my particular niche, completely fell into it. It's just a great thing. It was working. And guys are buying it. Guys are buying it like crazy. Like you said, their money is just as green and I'm just as happy to take it. But do you go in wanting to sell to women, or do you go in just thinking, no, I'll just sell to anybody?
I always start with all. I mean, besides like this one CrossFit product I was doing, but I always start with all, because
if I was selling bras, I wouldn't go to the guy.
Because I had
in New Zealand maybe.
I had tested out the shoe niche as well, and there was one type of shoe that I had designed, and it was like the first 10 sales I had with that shoe, 9 out of 10 were men.
Okay.
I was like, whoa. This
good.
is pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
So
we'll come back and talk a little bit more about that. We do have to pay the bills, take a break. Time flies when you have fun, does it not? It's crazy. So don't forget to check us out, of course. You can just go right on Facebook, the eCom Power Hour. That's facebook.com/eCom Power Hour. And when we come back, we're going to let you know how you can reach out to Amber and to Marissa and get to know them a little bit more too. And the thing I found about them, they're great at helping out. They want to help. They're passionate about this industry. So they're really great about answering questions. So you're going to want to learn how to reach out to them right after the break.
Be right back.
Amber, you're running low on juice here.
This is fun.
Kill it.
Yeah.
I was just saying, turn it this way the whole time. I was just like,
Well, so why? Is it take
Snap only does it this way. If you do it this way, you do lose half of what you're doing.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
People can
Live
turn
and learn.
their phone around. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
I say a nice little self.
Oh, so that's what I didn't see you, but I saw. I was like, turn the phone around.
I have a charger in the car for it.
Oh, is it going to, is it 12? Is it going down?
12%.
Okay. It's okay. If it goes dead, I have a charger at the thing, so you can just keep snapping.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay,
Look at me,
so
you look super cute.
That's
You
gonna
got a
die.
cute smile on your face.
When
Gotta
we-
have that.
Awesome, thank you.
when we come back, I'm gonna go right into, hey, let's find out how we can contact these guys. So that
Okay.
way we just get that done. So what'll happen is you'll get through the break and you're like, oh, wow, we didn't ever say who we were or where we could find you. So
Okay.
we'll do that.
Good.
And I think we're good. Anything, Jeb?
No, we're good. We're good. I think we're
Straight
good.
shot.
Can I go live on my Facebook?
Sure.
If
Yeah.
you want to, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We're all about live. You like that?
Yeah. The more live, the better.
That's right.
Should I go see what that drilling's about?
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
rude.
That's rude.
Hey, Wes. That drilling and the routering that's going on, you hearing that or no? So it's not coming through the. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Because I had mine like this on the side, and I was like, wow, that's loud.
No, I haven't heard.
Okay, good.
That's why the microphones are so finicky. They're short range.
Yeah, they're short range. I figured as much, but I thought I'd ask just in case.
Yeah, no problem.
I figured you'd be up with a hammer and a bat.
All right.
We're
We
ready
good
to
to go?
Yep.
Let's do it.
7, 8, 9, 3, 2, 6, 5, 4.
Now back to eCom Power Hour. Here are your hosts, Jeff Fagan and Jason Nast.
Hey, it is eCom Power Hour here, right here at 1510.
Don't you love that music,
I
man?
do. It's
I
just-
do.
You guys like, you
Yes.
ladies like that music?
I can't help but dance.
You know what? I'll tell you, Rocky, the theme for Rocky, because all of us are like Rockies when it comes to e-commerce, right? I mean, we're fighting that battle. We're trying to figure it out. It's just not that easy. It's a struggle, right? I mean, it is. It really is. Especially at the beginning. I don't know if it ever gets easy, quite honestly. What do you think?
You know, I think that we as entrepreneurs challenge ourselves to do more. So it's always a challenge because even when we master something, we're looking to learn the next new thing, the cool thing, the hot thing, the next topic, whatever. So I think it's a challenge, but I think if it was easy, we'd probably make it harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're probably right.
I have too many people in my life telling me that my work is too easy. You don't really work, you know. Oh, you're just sitting at home working and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, wow, if they only knew how hard I work. You know?
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, if you haven't dealt with that in your life yet, you will.
Oh, I have.
As a seasoned home worker, boy, I'll tell you, that's crazy talk. So before we go too deep into things, we've been remiss. We haven't really told anybody how to get a hold of you. And I think it's really important because you have such a great perspective on e-commerce and a different perspective than the hundreds, and I mean hundreds of mentors out there that are men teaching other, typically men, how to do this. I think if you're not, I know you are, so I'm really segueing for you, but I think if you're not into coaching, if you're not willing to help people, you're not going to go very far in this business anyway.
Right.
But I know that you two are incredibly helpful and incredibly resourceful, so I think, Amber, tell us how to get a hold of you so that our listeners can reach out to you. Probably Facebook's best thing, I think, or
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Yeah, so I am actually in the process of creating a e-commerce group on Facebook. I don't have it all the way together, but when I create it, it'll be called e-commerce like a boss. But you can contact me on Snapchat at it's Amber M, as in Michelle, it's Amber M Lee, or on Facebook at facebook.com. This is a little long, but it's / Amber Michelle Lee 11, and it's 2 L's in Michelle.
That's what you get with the younger generation. They
Right.
don't actually have their names like you do, right?
I guess so.
But
That's
so let's go back to Snap, because I think that was the easiest to remember. So it's Snap is at Amber.
It's
Oh, it's-
ITS Amber M Lee.
It's Amber M. Lee on Snapchat. And Marissa, tell us about you. How do we get a hold of you?
Okay, so
Let's
there's
think this one through.
two wonderful ways to get a hold of me. My Instagram, I'm on it every day. It's at MSMarissa88. So MSMarissa 88.
Ms. Marissa 88.
Yeah, just shoot
Got
me a DM or direct message. And then just please just send me a message on Facebook, my personal profile. It's just Marissa Romero. last name Romero, and I'd be happy to connect.
Excellent. And they should definitely friend you first, because if you send a message, if you don't know this already on Facebook, if you send a message without friending the person first, it goes into this other box. And it's kind of a weird.
The box you don't want to look at.
Yeah, the box that it's nervous and scary to look at.
That's right.
It's the one your ex contacts you on.
Or you get called dear all the time.
Yeah.
Hello, dear.
So excellent. Well, thank you so much for that. So Marissa Romero on Facebook, or once again on your Instagram is
it's at MSMarissa88.
MSMarissa88. Great. So that's perfect. And of course, you can always reach out to us at the eCom Power Hour right on Facebook. Now, tell us a little bit more about your perspective. You're selling, you said pretty much to anybody, but the reality of it is we like to target women because they do control the money in a household. She likes that a lot. Well, it's just a painful truth. So if we're going to start a brand new business, because you guys, I know, coach, and you help a lot of new startup people who are have no clue in some respects, and help get them to their first sale, their fifth sale, their 10th sale. I have a very good friend, Steve Rudick, and he always tells me the first sale is great, but when you get to the fifth sale and the 10th sale, now you have something.
Right.
And so you specialize in some respects in getting those beginners to that 10th and beyond sale. So in your advice, give me some random advice about, like, what do you suggest they do first to start off, or what is the one thing that they can do to really help them be prepared for you?
So if you have your store already up and you've got it going, I would say to really learn how to research products. If you can research and find products that are already proven to sell, then the targeting is easy if you do your research correctly. So I would say become really good at researching products.
And Amber, I've always been curious to know, because I hear from both points of view, and I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. Are you better to find a passionate niche and then identify products for that passionate niche, or are you better to find really cool products and then figure out what niche would want to buy those products? Which comes first?
I'm a product girl. That's why I have a general store. I think that if I can find a product that is proven to sell, then I can find the niche to get into it. To me, that's what I'm trying. I'm not trying to find a product that's going to go, because if I find one that I've done research on and I know that other people have sold it, I'm confident enough that I can sell it. So now I just need to figure out what niche that they put it in front of and what target. And I do that with Facebook ads. So I am the person who, when I put up ad sets on Facebook and I'm doing ad sets, I'm doing 10 ad sets, and I'm testing interest and the target market. So I'm trying to figure out who within this niche is going to buy this product. I don't test products.
And how about you, Marissa? Do you generally look for what the niche is that you want to go after and then find products to satisfy them, or do you go the other way around? You find some really cool products and then identify the niche afterwards?
My go-to usually is finding that passionate niche first, and then either finding a product to go that goes in that niche, or coming up with a design, a print-on-demand design that I could put on, apparel, shoes, shirts, whatever it is, and target that, because that's really where I've seen the most of my success, And then also pairing two passionate niches together, they call it flex targeting, where you'll target like Beauty and the Beast lovers with I don't know, tattoos or something.
Right.
It's just yeah.
So what's interesting is that, and this is literally kind of two takes on it, is that you're really driving the product, and you're really driving the target. You're saying, I want to know who the person is, and then find really great products for them. And you're saying, I want to know the product, and then find really great people for that. So it can work equally as well both directions. There's no right way, wrong way. There's just a way, and you try it. One of the things we love and hate about this business is we say all the time, how does it work? What's the secret sauce? The secret sauce is test.
Yeah.
You're either testing product, or you're testing audiences, or she's testing products.
Exactly.
Now, earlier we made a joke. And I said, your 4 years of non-success was really not a non-success. You just bought data. You just got data out of it. You learned things. We talk all the time about data. Data is the most important thing in e-commerce, actually any business, and it's funny because Facebook is, whether people know it or not, is the #1 collector of data.
Mm-hmm.
Even Google has been surpassed by Facebook because Facebook knows everything about you because you check in at a restaurant, it knows you like, you check in Mexican restaurants 20 times in a month. Hey, we know you like to eat out and go to Mexican restaurants. If you're checking in at the mall, you're a shopper. If you're checking in at the Cadillac dealer or the Maserati dealer, we know where your passions are. The interesting thing, there was actually a story that Facebook actually told a grandmother, what happened was Target bought data from Facebook and sent a postcard to a mother or a grandmother saying, you know, what new sale for your baby or grandbaby? And she calls her daughter and she's like, are you pregnant? And she says, yeah, we were waiting to tell you. So data is key to success, ultimately, it really is. So when we come back from the break, what I'd like to do is ask you guys a little question about your data and how you look at data and what it means to you, and how can the layperson, the average person who's getting started, actually do something with that data, because a lot of people are doing what you did. You're just trying to figure it out, and you have all this information, but what do you do with it?
Right.
We're here about making sense of all the letters and alphabet stuff.
That is.
So we'll come right back, eCom Power Hour, with 2 amazing guests for our last break. So this is it. You got to get everything right here, right now.
Not going anywhere.
We'll talk to you soon. It goes incredibly fast, doesn't it?
It does. Whoa.
It's like boom, wait.
I was thinking like 10 minutes at first. I was like 10 minutes. Ooh, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
4 sections, and then it's like.
And it goes by very quickly. Yeah. So.
Any last things to cover? Because this is it. We're done at this break. So we'll talk a little about data. We don't have to go deep in that because that's really above most people's heads. But it was just an easy segue into that conversation. Love what you said about product research. I was actually going to add in there that you said earlier about people making their sites too pretty, and you said product research is really good. Maybe a tip on product research would be good. Because I know I did a huge study on Shopify stores, the most successful Shopify stores at the moment. And there are some that stand way above the rest. But generally speaking, they're plain, they're ugly, they're boring, they don't have anything special about them. There's no pretty splashy graphics. It's really the basic stuff. So that's a good thing to tell people. It's like you don't have to be like the greatest developer or designer.
The other thing I hope we can cover is if people were to start now, by the time the holiday shopping season begins,
they would be.
Where can they be? Can they be ready to crush it by the time? So that people that get started now.
I could say something about that.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about people starting now. Where can they be come this holiday season, and why do they want to be set up to crush it during the holiday season? A lot of people don't realize how fourth quarter can be so huge.
Man, and it starts in September, which is crazy.
There you go.
So what we that's good. Let's focus on that. Forget what I said completely. Let's focus on just, hey, if you get started now, you can actually crush it and make a killing over we talk about Black Friday and all that sort of stuff. Other thing is I got a note from some of our foreign listeners, and they're saying we're talking too fast.
Oh,
okay.
Slow it.
And I talk slow.
But she said it's a little fast. She goes, it's really good. It's great.
I talk really fast.
And is it possible I could mention like my plans going forward with like the coaching and stuff? Okay.
Yeah. With what?
With like my coaching, coaching
that's what
program.
I was trying to give you a segue for that earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
You absolutely start into it. We'll start right into it. We'll say,
Okay. Cool.
Marissa's telling us during the break about her coaching stuff going on, and you have a group coming in that's going to be doing coaching. So yeah, let's do that right away. All right.
I wish I could do that.
I learned that from Bruce Lee. I did actually.
That's my father.
Now back to eCom Power Hour. Here are your hosts, Jeff Fagan and Jason Nast.
Hey, this is an exciting day with all this, and it's been good, very positive having 2 ladies in the room here just crushing it in eCom. And we were talking earlier about data and things like that, but before we get into the data part of it, I want to ask a question. You know, you guys have been so helpful for so many people. I watch on Facebook. I watch what you guys are going on. And I know, Marissa, we were talking during the break about your coaching program and how you're really looking to help coach those beginning students getting going again. So once again, real quick, if you could just tell us how to reach out to you on Instagram so that we can tell us a little about what your plans are with your coaching.
Yeah, so this Friday, actually, I'm going to be full-time entrepreneur for the first time in my life ever. I'm super excited.
High five.
You know, I have a vision to take on eCom clients because, you know, I think one-on-one work is great, and you know, I think you know, I have a vision on how I want to bring like my students just up to speed on both the Shopify side and Facebook advertising side. So it's going to be really exciting, and I only want to work with like a handful to begin with, to really just to see if my program works. So you know, the best way to get a hold of me again is my Instagram at msmarissa88, or just reach out to me on Facebook, add me as a friend. Just at Marissa Romero.
And if for some reason you can't find Marissa, you guys can always reach out to Jeff. We're very well connected. We'll make sure you get in the right place.
They got my number.
We got you connected. and it's really interesting. So what you're doing now is really great because you're actually taking an opportunity and extending it to a lot of people here with an opportunity to do something different. And that is huge. And I know you're doing the group coaching.
Yes.
You're doing that through Facebook. You're going to be doing a group and helping and kind of mentoring people.
Yeah.
There's no better time than to get involved in e-commerce. There's just like
totally
no
agree.
better time
Absolutely.
because what you do today, you talk about data collection, learning, and all the succeed and not succeeding. If you prime yourself right now, if you get involved with these ladies individually or together, if you get involved in any mentorship on eCom today, we're in June. June, great time to test and play and learn. July, really nice. Summertime, August, great. September, things start ramping up. You dial in what you're doing. You get a couple of good niches. You get a couple of good target audiences. You are going to absolutely crush it over the holiday season. We have this wonderful thing called Black Friday. Is there a better time?
There's not. No, there's not. That fourth quarter is.
It makes a year.
It does. It does. That fourth quarter. I mean, you can make six figures in that last 4 months or 3 months of the year.
Absolutely, and the as seen on TV market's the same thing.
Yeah.
If we're not dialed in on our targeting, our audience, and our advertising by the end of September at the latest, yeah. But when we are, oh my God, you just knock it out of the park. It's the perfect time. Marissa, so I already answered the question, but let me ask you, if you're going to get started, when would you get started? Would you wait to get started in September, or would you do it now?
No, I would get started now. You know, make all of your, I wouldn't say make mistakes, but buy your data now. Because, you know, summer is, you know, is the slowest season. You know, that's no secret. And then going into August and September, things start to heat up. But, you know, the October, November, December months are, you know, so crucial to have, you know, start your online e-commerce business and get your skill set down, because you're positioning yourself to leverage that season.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. And it's funny you say that summer's a slow season, and it is a slow season, but what we've done in our world is we've actually targeted a whole new populace that buys during the summertime. We're targeting hikers.
Nice.
So I'm doing
Yeah.
hiking boots and custom brands for them, and also internationally.
Nice.
So
Yep.
I
That's what I was gonna
sometimes
say.
it's really, really tough to be sitting in Arizona in beautiful, gorgeous 110 weather, sunny at the pool with your pina colada, doing your business, and thinking, oh wait, there's somebody still beating themselves on the snowbank.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really
it.
hard to do.
I think that that's what I was gonna say when she said that summer is a slow season, but I think that is like a really good way to think, you know, and I think that's how me and her have kind of kept our head above water during the summer and really have still done well, is because we've realized that it's still cold somewhere. So if you're selling items for, you know, in the wintertime, or even what do people buy in the summer? They buy towels, they buy bathing suits, they buy, you know, do your POD and just be smart about it. some are slow, but it doesn't have to be for you.
Exactly.
You know?
I love that. I love that. And I've heard so many times people say, "Oh, it's slow, it's slow." I'm like, wait, you know what? You're selling the wrong thing to the wrong people. That's the only thing it is.
And in fact, you know, if you go online, you go to Google and put in hot summer niches,
Yeah.
you'll find
Yeah.
many articles that list all.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's just doing the research, right?
Yeah. And Google
it's
Trends.
You won't tell by what I dress and how I shave and all this stuff, but I actually subscribe to GQ magazine, and one of their top trending topics is that shoes this year, loafers, slip-ons,
Yes.
I'll call them the Converse All-Star style, that those shoes are the top trend for people today. And they don't say the word POD, they don't say the word print on demand, but what they say is that people want individual styles.
Mhm.
They want to know what's on their feet isn't on the next guy's feet or the next
Exactly.
gal's feet. And I'm reading this going, this is my world right here. So that was the GQ hot summer trend was shoes and they didn't say customize it personally. They said that everybody wants to feel like theirs are a little bit different.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know that brings up a good point. One of the number one things I learned on like day 2 of my eCom training is that people don't care about the quality of like, you know, what they're wearing so much as to how it makes them feel.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
they want their, you know, it's part of their brand, it's part of their life. They want to, you know, show off their custom design.
Right. It's like there are women out there who have to wear pink, you know, but there are other women out there who wear pinky, and it doesn't matter as long as it looks good on them. It's really about what it looks like, how it makes you feel.
Mhm.
So I agree wholeheartedly. I don't agree with you know, we're not advocating brand knockoff or anything like that. Legal. But yeah, it's really about what it makes you feel like on the inside, and it's that emotional grab that you talked about earlier. You want to hit them where that emotional side goes, oh, I love this. This is great. I would look so cute in it. And just the other day with a student of mine, I'm talking to her, and she says she wants to sell this particular brand, and she goes, I'm like, who would buy that? And so you have to really convince them to buy that. How are you going to convince them to buy that? So we do a lot of working on it. And the end of the day, her brand is her own brand for her own business. At the end of the day, the tagline we came up with is, it's okay to feel good.
I love that.
Go ahead and buy it.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're going to tell people. She's like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Yeah, it's like,
Right.
just make yourself feel good. Buy it.
Right. Give them
Which
the
is
permission.
like the permission.
Right.
It's like, it's the simplest thing. So,
I'm curious, ladies, you know, we don't have a lot of time left, but obviously between now and the fourth quarter when things really start to pick up, we haven't really talked a whole lot about the Facebook pixel, but obviously the more we can season that pixel between now and the holiday season, the more we're going to be revved up and ready to roll. Would you say that's probably a fair statement?
Yes, and that's the reason that I go and I am I'm testing out different audiences, because if I find an audience that hits, then I can put several different products in front of them that can go during that season, the fourth quarter. So that's my thinking behind it. Same thing with. It's like a curse word.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that hasn't been said, but you know, one thing that I did realize recently about the niche. Okay, well, one important thing to mention are, you know, Facebook has these updates like all the time, like you know, several times throughout the year. But there's this one big update at the end of May, and it, you know, shook things up with the Pixel and stuff, and so the Pixel works well when you season it for a niche, obviously. But what I learned was that niche kind of means something more of an overarching umbrella, like shoes or custom apparel or jewelry. It's not really like the, you know, the nursing niche or the specific niche. It's, I think people get that misconstrued as it's, you know.
They're not granularizing it.
Right. So keep that in mind.
I think that the Pixel is an ever moving target. Matter of fact, we had Brandon Stewart, former Facebook guy, here talking about the Pixel, and we're actually going to be doing a Pixel Mastery event coming up. Is later in July. We'll be talking about that some more. We're out of time. I love having you guys here.
Thank
It's
you.
It was fun.
Marissa88. That's at Instagram. And for you,
Snapchat, it's Amber Emily.
it's Amber Emily on Snapchat. And make sure to reach out to us at eCom Power Hour on Facebook.com/eCom Power Hour. We're here for you. We are literally trying to make sense of all, no, we're not trying. We are actually doing it.
Thank you.
Making sense of all of the craziness in eCom and making it simple for you to succeed. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming in and
Thank you
helping
for
us
having us.
crush it right here.
Marissa, Amber, thank you guys so much. Wes,
you.
behind the mirror, behind the
That's
window.
right.
Great job, Wes. We love you, man.
Support crew back there.
Absolutely. Everybody else. We love all you guys. We'll see you next
We'll see you
week.
next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good job. Good job. Good job. There we go. All right.
Amber, you died. Your phone died.
You guys.
We got lots of friends on.